Hello and welcome back to Cooking with Chungus. This is episode 2, and it's been quite an eternity since I did my first episode of this, but I am back, and I have a new recipe to share with you. This is a Kracie Popin Cookin candy sushi kit, and it's miniature, so everything's going to be very tiny. My hands are going to look super big. And I've had these before, and I've shown them before. And they're all in Japanese, like 100% in Japanese, so I can't read it, but it shows very good pictures on the back to show you what you need to do. And all you're going to need that doesn't include this is a little bit of water. So as you can see, I have my little bowl right here. I'm going to pour some water in. That should be more than enough. Very good. So, I'm going to set this off to the side for just a little bit. And I'm going to open this. So, before I open it, this is what it looks like. And on the right side of it, it shows you a little tab where you pull open. I'm going to zoom out here so you can see a little better. And this is a dinner table, I guess. I forget what this thing is called, but you can turn it, or you could be able to turn it, but I took that part off. You turn it, and you can just get your stuff from there. So it comes in this little packet here. And let me zoom in just a little bit for you. And it goes upright this way. So you want to cut along these top and bottom lines here. I'm going to take my scissors, I'm going to do that. And it's okay if you don't get it completely on the line, because you can go in and fix it later after you've taken the thing out. Take all the stuff out and then you can fix it. So here's what you have inside. You have the packets, and you have the trays, and you have this little dropper right here. And you're going to be using that to squeeze the water into the little parts of the container. Compartments, I guess. And once you take that out, the tray out, you can flatten it out like this, and you can get a much better cut. And you do the same on the other side, because the other side didn't go as well. Alright, so you should have this really thick plastic band-like thing, and in the back where it's sealed off, you're going to pull that open, or pull it apart. And just take this off, because why not? I'm going to cut the rest of this off as well. Alright, so you have your little placemat thing here, and this is where all the sushi is going to go. These 6 spots right here. They're meant to be plates. And I'm going to set this aside for right now, and we're going to come back to that. So you have a bunch of packets here, and they each serve their own purpose. They're each very different. And they're all supposed to represent the different parts of the sushi that we need to make. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make the rice. Let me turn this right side up. And you're going to go in the number 1 container And you're gonna take your dropper. If I didn't lose it, here it is. Take your dropper. You're gonna grab some water and you're gonna fill it all the way up to this fill line right here, this little oval. Zoom in so you can see. Go in my bowl of water. And you can see we're already almost there. You don't need very much water for this at all. It's a very tiny project, this is. Maybe just a little bit more, not even a full squeeze. There. And you're gonna take your big blue packet and you're gonna pour that in here. Getting all the powder down to the bottom. And you're gonna pour that in. Get as much powder out of this packet as you can. And you're gonna take your mixing spoon and you're gonna very carefully mix it because these are very close together and it could spill in here. I can already see a little bit of powder in here. I'm gonna mix that up. Be very careful so you don't spill it in the other containers. Back in there. You don't want to add any more water, even if you think that it's too dry. Don't add any more water because it'll get too wet and it won't be the marshmallowy consistency that it should be. Just keep mixing, all the powder will eventually go into this giant ball right here. And coming off this, I've done this before, but I'll just say it again. This smells like bubblegum. It's very bubblegummy scent. It's very nice. You can see I'm already getting some more of the powder in here, but it's okay. There's still some parts here that are very, very wet, so that's where the powder should go. So it can even out the consistency a lot. Oh, this isn't an injury, by the way. My hands are clean, they're just kind of stained because I was drawing earlier and the markers stained me. So don't think I'm just being a slob with dirty hands or injured hands. No, my hands are clean. At this point, I'm going to start using my hands to pick up all the rest of that powder that's still sitting there. It doesn't want to come out. It's being a little stubborn. Just go ahead and give that a little mix. And if you feel any parts that are like more sticky and wet than normal, that's where you can collect the powder. It's like Play-Doh, but fluffier and edible. Very nice. There's something here, some powder in there, gotta get that out. Very good. think I've gotten what I could. So what you want to do is you're gonna mold this into 6 little ovals here. I'm gonna get my placemat back here. And you're gonna break off pieces and you're gonna try to fit them into the size of this mold right here. Zoom in a little bit more for you. They're not gonna be exactly the same size as the mold, or the imprint rather, but I'm going to do as best as I can. And once you're done making each little rice oval, you're going to put them in each of these plates. These might be a little too big, so if I run out of rice before I can make the last one, then I'll break some off of these. As you can see, I try to mold them myself and get them into the flat shape that they need on the sides before putting them into the mold or the imprint. I guess, and this is going to be a little too small, so I'm going to take a little bit off this one. I'm going to fix the both of them. I'm going to take some off this one too. I'm going to fix this last one here, or the second one technically. Alright, so now my rice balls are done. Fix this one a little. And now we're going to move on to make the eggs and the tuna. So I'm going to carefully move this somewhere. Alright, so I'm going to zoom out a little so you can see. And it's not too claustrophobic for you. So what we want to do here is, let's see, here you go. We're going to take our more yellowy orange packet here, and we're going to pour that in here, because that's going to be the egg. But first we need to add water, And there's this little indent right here, and that's going to be the fill line. Some rice right here. One more should do it. There we go. And we're going to take that. Finally take our packet here. Gonna open that up. Pour that inside. Gonna take our mixing spoon again, and we're gonna mix this up, but carefully. It's gonna have a very applesauce-y texture in the beginning, but when it hardens up, it's gonna be like gelatin. Spilling it everywhere. Gotta be careful. And once you've mixed it to its right consistency, you're gonna take the back of the spoon and smooth it out. All right. And this is going to turn into gelatin while we are completing the rest of the kit. Next, what we're going to do is make the tuna, and that is the other half of the packet because these two were joined together. So make sure it has the little, it's pink and it has the little sushi image on it. Shake all the powder down to the bottom and open this up. Before we pour it in, I'm going to fill this tray to the fill line. A little too much. I've always like struggled with the egg for some reason. I can't ever get it to stay the same texture as the tuna. It's always more liquidy for some reason. Hopefully I can get it right this time, because this is like the third or fourth time I've tried this kit. So pour that in there. Take your mixing spoon and mix very carefully in the beginning so you don't spill anything. And smell this one. It smells like strawberries or like apple. Even though this table is perfectly upright and symmetrical and not slanted, it does seem like more of the water is staying on this side. Smooth it out once you get the texture you need. Not as smooth as the egg, but we can make it work. What if this time the egg comes out better than tuna? That's gonna be funny. Alright. And while you're creating the rest of the candy, these are going to sit and turn into the texture that they should be in. Now we're going to make the fish eggs. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our other conjoined packets here. We've got an orange one and we've got a teal one. Split these, separate them. And in this A tray and this B tray, we're going to fill those trays up to their fill lines with water. Do the A tray first, alphabetically for consistency. And fill up this B tray. And a lot of people like this part the best because it is the coolest, I would say. So now they're filled up. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here. And we're going to take your teal package and open that up. You're going to pour the contents of this packet into tray A. It's a very, very light blue tint to it. And you're going to take your mixing spoon, and I know I've still got some there. Let me get that off. That tuna tastes good. And we're going to mix this. But very carefully, because this is very, very liquidy. It's not the most pleasant sound, but this is what you got to do. You want great results, you got to put the work in. All right. I think that's about as mixed as it's gonna get. That water tastes good. It's kind of like orangey. Very light citrus flavor. And now you're gonna take your orange packet and open that up. You're gonna pour its contents into the B tray. From this, you're going to get a much thicker solution or concoction. You mix that up. Very nice. It looks like salsa that you get at a Mexican restaurant. Love it. This is very, very orange flavored. My mom really liked these too. She said this was her favorite part of the candy. And it's very cool to eat, very cool to watch, very cool to make. It's like a nice little syrup here that we've got going on, little sauce, like I said earlier, the salsa. Everything in there that you possibly can. All right, got some in there, but it's okay. Now, this part looks really cool. So, I'm gonna zoom in or position the tray and the camera in the right spots. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your dropper and you're gonna squeeze it and you're gonna grab some of this orange fluid here. And you're not gonna squeeze it out, you're just gonna pinch it just a little bit. Here we go. And you're going to get these really cool fish eggs. You can squeeze slightly harder for them to come out faster. Get some more of this. And you want to do this until all or almost all of the liquid from tray B has now become fish eggs in tray A. You want to use all of the liquid. And mix this up a little more because there's a chunk powder still stuck down here. Might add a little water to it. Gotta mix that up. I'm spilling it into the eggs here. Frick. Alright, so now this is done, and there's barely any left in here. And now we're gonna make the soy sauce, which is very, very simple to make. So, same as usual. Gonna fill this up to its fill line. Just a little bit of orange in there. Shoot. It's okay. That should be enough. I'm gonna take this singular brown packet, and we're gonna open that and pour its contents into the container. I'm gonna carefully mix that. This is gonna be very, very liquidy, so you need to be very careful. I like to stir like this because it decreases the chancing of spilling any, because when you have this much surface area, it can just push the water wherever it wants and it can get everywhere. Right. This tastes like aloe vera juice, if anyone's curious. So now we're gonna put our sushi together. And so we're gonna take this little grape taffy here that we got. And it kind of looks like tire rubber. I'm gonna open that. And we're gonna take our placemat here, and we're gonna put this here. We're gonna move our stuff over here ever so carefully because there's liquid in here. And this part I've always struggled with, but my mom, when I had her do it, she pushed the taffy much slower, so that's what I'm gonna have to do. Okay, this looks better than the last ones that I did, so I'm happy with this. It's not as good as how my mom did hers, but I'm still proud of this, by the way. So this will do. I'm gonna zoom out here for you. Yeah, I'm gonna carefully pull this off. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this and you're gonna wrap it around one of these balls of rice. Just pick one and wrap it around it. We're gonna seal it off like that. Gonna push this down a little bit to make room for the eggs. All right, so now we're gonna go back to our tray here. And I'm gonna move this back here. So you're gonna take your mixing spoon and you're gonna cut these in half. So right here is about where they separate. Just gonna cut in the middle. Hopefully they're ready by now. Gonna carefully scoop that up. Oh, the egg came out good this time. You're gonna take a piece of sushi. You're gonna place that on, just like that. And you're gonna set that down. It's falling over, you can't see it, but it's kind of falling over, but I'll fix it. Now, you're gonna take your tuna and pray it comes out good. And you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna grab a piece of rice. I said sushi in the past, I meant rice. Drop that on. And that's on my plate, by the way. You can't see it, but it's on my plate. And you're gonna cut a little bit of each. And you're gonna chop that up. You're gonna grab that. You're gonna put it on some rice. And you're gonna take some fish eggs. You're gonna put those on too. We're gonna put that onto the side. Now with the rest of this, you're gonna do the same thing that you did with the tuna and the eggs. You need to put the rest of it on. Like this. And just like that. And you're gonna take your last piece of sushi with the seaweed. You're gonna grab your fish eggs. You're gonna put those right on top. Eat this, and that's it.